Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of May 2nd. I'm Nicole Erdix, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
And Terry Morrow.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes worrying about something or other. Wednesday is complaint day here on the Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about a very scary sounding app that is for parents of babies. Oh my goodness, Catherine, do tell.
Okay, so I heard about this and I went and looked it up, and there's many of these, but the one I'm going to mention today is called Huckleberry Baby and Child. It is a baby tracker and sleep expert app.
Oh my
microchip
gosh, is
them
that
for this app?
4.9 stars?
I know, it's got a lot of stars, so people seem to like it. But so they claim that it is a sleep consultant in your pocket. So the way it works, and if you have the paid version, it has something called Sweet Spot, the world's first predictive algorithm that lets you know when your little one is ready for sleep. People say it's like magic. And there's a schedule creator to see age-appropriate sleep schedules for your child. So basically, your kid, it tells you when to put your kid to bed. And then when your child wakes up in the morning or when they wake up from a nap, you say, okay, they woke up, they went to sleep at this time and they woke up at that time. And then the app will say, okay, then that means you have to put them back down for a nap at exactly this time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I am fraught with just anxiety right now.
Right? I mean, doesn't this feel like so stressful? Like, what happened to just like the baby yawns and you put it down? Like, I don't know.
What happened to being in tune with your child and not like, I don't know, following an app to rear them? This is really bizarre. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm being very judgy.
Well, and also it has like the tracker, like, where was it? Something like, never again forget what time you can't remember when you last changed their diaper. Not anymore. Like, who cares? Why do you need to know when you last changed their diaper?
I think you kind of know when you does it exactly? Just change it. I don't know. Change it.
Really, the odor indicates when it might be time.
Yeah,
exactly. Or like, what if the app tells you to change the diaper and you don't need to change it? Like, it's completely dry. Now you just wasted a diaper. Maybe that's the true purpose.
An easy baby tracker for breastfeeding bottles. Okay, that just stresses me out right there. So back in the day when I was young and naive, I tried putting my son on a feeding schedule because that's what Dr. Spock said, or whoever was in charge of those. What is it? What was that? What was that big parenting book that we had when our kids were born? What was that called?
What to Expect.
Yes.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it was just the worst time ever trying to get him on a schedule. Like, I should have just fed him when he was hungry.
Yeah.
It was so stressful. And I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Josh. It didn't last for long because it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
Having to sit through him crying when he was hungry.
Right. Just the idea of sort of outsourcing this all to an app. I get that, like, you feel completely adrift, you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what they want. But I'm not sure if this is the way to address that,
Right. This is really, I get the tracking of the growth. That's awesome. The health, medication might even be helpful, but then like how much time does it take to input all of this stuff is my next question.
Right.
Right? Are you like constantly on your phone inputting all of this information?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is your phone, does it always have to be on hand? Like, what? I don't understand. I would love to hear from a parent that just raves about this. So,
Well, I'm
listeners,
sure
if you
they
know
have some
somebody,
reviews that you could read.
But weren't we kind of wishing that Walmart would do something like this? That would just tell you like exactly what to do, so you would not have that doubt. Didn't they have like a baby service
They
that we
had,
hoped would do that?
yes.
I I wonder if this sort of app is like a security object
Mhm.
that makes you feel like you're in control,
Mhm,
whether
Yeah.
you actually use it to the degree
mhm.
it is meant to be used or not. For example, do I fill out everything on my Weight Watchers app completely honestly all the time, just exactly the way it says, measure my sleep, do this, do that, do that? Sure. But it gives me the feel of organization.
That's
Of
true.
my diet, whether I play fast and loose with it or not.
Mhm,
I can, on my own judgment, do things differently,
mhm.
but it gives me a base to work from. Same with organization apps, of which there are a million, and I have tried 999,999 because it's so appealing. We will put your life in order. We
Right.
will tell you when to
Yeah.
do things. We will make sure you get things done. And you always go to it going, yes, that's what I need. And it works for like a couple of weeks. And then you're lying to it.
Mhm.
And then you stop using it.
Mhm.
So maybe this is that same sort of thing for people
Yeah.
who have been accustomed to that for their entire life.
Right.
If you're going to have an app to tell you how to work, and you're going to have an app to tell you how to eat, and you're going to have Apple Health keeping track of your steps and your sleep, and you're wearing a Fitbit and you're doing all this
That's
stuff, when you have
true.
a baby, it's natural to say, well, we got to have an app for the baby. We got to organize all this stuff. We got to have prompts. We got to have notifications when it's time to do things for the baby.
Right.
And then after a while, you get your sea legs and your instincts strengthen and you start to trust them. And then the app just kind of gathers dust and
So-
falls to the little teeny tiny thing on your phone that you can hardly see.
Is this
Maybe
kind
that's
of
what it
like
is.
training wheels for parents? Is that
I
what you're
think
saying?
so. I think that might be what it is. And I can see how it would be super reassuring when you get home from the hospital with this thing that you feel inadequately prepared for.
But
It
I
would be
just,
very comforting
the
to say.
stress and anxiety.
And so we used to have moms for that, right? Or used to have,
That's
nearby family members. Have
Right.
you fed that baby yet? Did you feed the baby? Isn't the baby sleeping? How many times has the baby slept? You used to have a mother-in-law to do that. And now you need an app. But
But man,
I never had a tiny baby, so I will defer to you guys, but I can see how it would be appealing.
no, the anxiety just far outweighs anything else.
But there's anxiety anyway.
But the
right?
anxiety of having to fit into this app that apparently is like made by experts and,
This takes all your free floating anxiety and just focuses it into one place.
I just could not think of anything worse. Like, honestly,
Man, I don't know.
because you're trying to take your baby and fit it into an app, and it just doesn't like that's. And then and then you feel inadequate as a parent because your baby isn't following this pediatric approved app, and then
Or maybe you feel my baby's better than that. My baby must be better than average. My baby sleeps longer. My baby eats more. Yes, super baby.
Those weren't my babies.
Yeah.
I just think this may be a generational thing. Maybe today's parents are just so used to having every single detail of their life tracked
I
that
guess so.
they need this for
I'm
them.
gonna ask my
but-
no, I don't want to ask my kids. Do you use an app like this?
Your kid who you track through various
Exactly.
devices at age what?
Shush. We don't want to talk about that.
I just think
Never
it
mind.
would be very easy to, like, there has to be some flexibility in life, I mean, the app
Mhm.
doesn't know that, like, your older child has a very important baseball game or that your partner is out of town or whatever. Like sometimes things change. And I think this could get you into that, like, well, I absolutely can't, go anywhere or do anything because it's time for this or it's time for that.
Yeah.
And it's so
I guess.
I think that's where it can, like you said, Terry, you have to sort of make it work for you.
Yeah.
And
I bet people do that. We need to gamify it.
I hope they do.
Every time you change a diaper, you get a little, ping, 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 ping.
Right.
And you go to the next round of the game and then you make it through the game and it's like, it's time to change the diaper again. Candy Crush baby version.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Maybe
people
that
really
would be more
into it.
I think, we read books or we had like internet forums or whatever.
That's right.
But
Email
then
lists.
you can always be like, well, this doesn't apply. So
Yes.
I'm throwing it out the window. And this app is going to be like, no, it's custom to your child. So you have to obey.
I wonder if it adapts to your child as you put more information in it.
I hope so.
Hmm.
So, I definitely had one that, their sleep patterns were different. Two different kids had different like needs and habits. So,
but in the app, you can add a child, and then it like coordinates both kids.
Well,
so,
well, what if it tells you that this one needs to go to sleep and this one needs to wake up?
Somehow it manages both kids for you, if not more.
Wow.
I don't know. I will defer to your guys' wisdom on tiny babies, but if they could have had an app for raising post-institutionalized children from Russia at the ages of, 21 months and 4.5 years,
you'd have been all over
got that puppy. Of course, there were no iPhones at that time and there were no apps. And there were only other mothers on email lists expressing their opinions about what they were doing right and you were doing wrong. So, there was plentiful anxiety to go around and judginess even then. So,
right.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I want, does it feel judgy when the app is like, okay, time to put that baby down for a nap?
You can turn the app off. You can close it down.
Right.
And your mother-in-law, not so much.
Oh boy. I just think the perfectionist in me and the need to please, I'd be wanting to please that app the entire time.
You'd be wanting your gold stars, dang it.
Exactly.
Baby, go to bed.
I know.
I want to
and I'd
click
be
off
like,
this box on my app.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, what's wrong with my kid? And I'd be so stressed. So parents out there that are like over anxious and perfectionists and people pleasers, don't use this app.
They need to have like different variations on it, like for high strung moms, for
forget
warriors.
Customizing it to the baby, customize it to the parent.
I think so. We notice you haven't used this in 3 days. We assume your child is not in the same diaper, so we're going to loosen up on our notifications. Or we're going to call CPS, one or the other. But really all you need is a good podcast. And that will see you through.
That's right.
We're full of opinions and we're very
and
easy
commiserations.
To turn off. You can turn the volume down and pretend like you're listening. It'll be great. But that will be it for today's round 3. Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about companies we would like to buy and change. And then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there on our Facebook page or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.